nothing has changed. We still look forward to strengthening efforts aimed at consensus building. Unfortunately, yesterday, Honorable Mahama Ayariga, who moved a private member's motion on the House floor, lost the vote, and a certain impression is being created as though the majority caucus was not in support of the good intent of Mr. Ayariga. Truth be told, the motion paper itself was very problematic. If you may recall, Mr. Speaker even overruled a preliminary objection, but urged on Honorable Ayariga to fine-tune the motion paper. Now, if you look at what he moved yesterday, and if you follow all our debates, we were simply saying that the substance of what he wanted to carry out was not clear. How do you, in one breath, invite government to take steps to absorb fees of public schools, public students in public tertiary institutions, and in another breath you say government should consider support to private accredited tertiary institutions? The ambiguity in it was just too much. All we're saying is that if we really want to have a plan for the tertiary students in this COVID era, then we must sit together with the executive. This government is at its formative days. We don't even have a minister in place. And yesterday, Mr. Ayariga himself conceded in his argument that he is expecting government to let the stakeholders who are going to implement its policy on education to look into that. But the question is, why rush the government when you know that the government has not rolled out its plans for the educational sector? So we are of the view that, look, this whole thing has a fiscal impact on the economy. It comes at a cost. Whether you use the word suspension or absorption, you are virtually saying in practical terms that government take over the bill and pay. But already, the fees that students are required to pay, the various fees, the academic facility user fees, I've done some research, and I can tell you that way back in 2009, if you look at this, the Ghana Private Higher Education on the right, if you look at this report, government is taking 70%. So whatever bill that a student is giving, whether a fresher or a continuing student, it is subsidized. That aspect must be properly put out for all of us to understand. So for our colleagues to create an impression that we do not support the urgent need to provide some relief for our students at the tertiary level is most misconceived. And again, to create the impression that we do not want to build consensus is also untrue. Because Honorable Ayariga himself did not, prior to he filing his motion, he had already put it out in the public domain and sought to court public sympathy and was on that populist journey. If we really want to do something for the good of the people of Ghana at a time that we all acknowledge that businesses are collapsing, at the time that we all acknowledge that businesses are suffering and people are becoming unemployed. Your main stock is revenue. If you don't have, can you give? So all of these require a wholesale engagement. Question is the minority saying that we should increase taxation? They've made reference to VAT. Are they saying that we should take over full financing of tertiary education in this country and increase VAT to take care of it? Is that their argument? They have not put it out there. And we are saying that to avoid uncertainties and to avoid situations where you in one breath agree to be doing something when in real terms you don't have what it takes to do it, have a wholesale look at it. And that was the gravamen of our contention. We were not in to oppose, and any serious-minded Ghanaian who followed the debates on our side would have come to the realization that we wanted us to have a broader view of the matter. We wanted specificity. We wanted to know which item we could put across to the executive. And we also felt that the timing was not right. So, ladies and gentlemen, simply put, these were our concerns, and we would want the Ghanaian people to appreciate the fact that at the time that we were even talking about free SHS, and at the point that we were even implementing free SHS, our colleagues were still opposed to it, never believed that we could do it. So if there is any government or any political party to provide support in the area of education, we have demonstrated commitment, we have a track record, and will be the first to take action in that respect. So I would want everybody, students in particular, to know that this government cares. Parents should know that if any relief ought to be provided, it will be done in a manner that they would get the real benefit. After all, go to electricity. When NDC was in power in 2016, when Ghanaians were complaining about electricity bills, they said, well,